Welcome in everyone, this is Jordan with Ravens Flash Report, and today I'm going to be bringing you some of the top stories surrounding the Baltimore Ravens. The first of which is the news that broke earlier today that the Baltimore Ravens have extended one Derrick Henry for a 2-year contract extension worth up to $30 million with $25 million fully guaranteed. This deal was originally posted by Adam Schefter from ESPN, and this article that you see in front of you is by Ryan Mink of the Baltimore Ravens, and it is on the Ravens website. So, this deal is a win-win, I believe, for the organization as well as Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry gets paid to be a top back in the NFL, and he was a top back in the NFL. The Ravens, they're getting continuity in the backfield. They're getting that consistency that has worked so well last year with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, he gets some of the workload taken off by Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson gets some of the workload taken off by Derrick Henry. Justice Hill comes in. Keaton Mitchell. So while Derrick Henry is going to continue to be the bell cow, he is not going to be relied on as much as he was with the Titans during his career. And we saw that last year. He still is going to get a large portion of carries, as he should, but he is reaping the benefits of being in the Ravens offense, and they are reaping the benefits of having Derrick Henry in this offense. So let's head over to the Pro Football Reference website just to look at some of the stats and see what he really did for the Ravens last year. So we can see in 2024, he played in all 17 games, 325 snaps, or 325 rushing attempts, I should say, which is not the most he's had. But the 1921 rushing yards is the second most he's had in his career, 16 ties for second most, and 94 first downs is his second most. But basically what that says is when he gets the ball, good things happen. First downs, percentages of first downs, and just everything. Look, yards per attempt, highest in his career, 113 yards per game, the second highest in his career. And these are being compared to the year that he had over 2,000 yards when he was an All-Pro. So, what this deal essentially does is it keeps the running game of the Baltimore Ravens at the front of the pack. So, as it says back here on the article, in the article here, Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey do earn more per year. Henry is the third ranked. But again, what Henry provided for the offense was not just an insane ability to rush and break free on any given play, which he did do. But again, the threat of him running, the threat of Lamar running, the threat of them in the backfield, and you not knowing who's going to have the ball, presents that pick-your-poison offense that was often spoke about by both the Ravens and the fan base. It improved the passing game. It improved how the offense could flow, and it gave Todd Monken the ability to be a little bit more creative in some of these games. If the running game was working, you could just go ahead and let it go. Derrick Henry was an absolute game wrecker against, Dallas, against... he sealed the game in overtime against the Bengals. These are his numbers for the 2024 regular season. You can see 151, 199. So many games over 100 yards. He finished the season. Look at this. 162, 147, 138. He had 186 against Pittsburgh in the playoffs. A phenomenal season for the Ravens, and really glad to see that he's back for another 2 years through until the end of 2027. The other news that we're going to discuss is not of the positive nature, and that is, of course, the Achilles injury suffered by Ardarius Washington. So, it's an Achilles tear, and it's going to take him out of pretty much all, if not all, it's going to be most of 2025. If he does come back from the Achilles tear in the middle of the season or the end of the season, I don't know how effective he'll be. I don't know what the team will look like at that point. I hope his rehab goes well. This is unfortunately something that, from an injury standpoint, Ardarius is quite used to at this point. I saw somebody online kind of compare it to the Tavon Young situation with just the potential of Ardarius Washington, him going out there, proving what he can do, and then having an injury like this. Obviously, you hope it doesn't go the way that it did for Tavon Young, but it's just a bummer situation for a player that really seemed to break out last season. He started to see some serious consistency with the Ravens secondary during the second half of the season when he took over next to Kyle Hamilton. And as far as the Ravens go, it's anyone's guess what they do at this point. I hope they bring in some veterans, because right now your safety core, specifically safety, is looking like Kyle Hamilton, Bo Braid, Sanusi Kane, and first-round pick from this year, Malachi Starks. So Starks is excellent, and that pick is looking even better now. If anything, you can say that the slight silver lining of the situation is that we did go out and get Malachi Starks in the draft with the 27th overall pick. Having said that, Starks immediately starting out is not 100% ideal. I think he will eventually take over, but again, you want to have some security. And while Bo Braid and Sanusi Kane prove that they can be viable options and they can come in here and there, I don't necessarily see them as the starter next to Kyle Hamilton, especially not at the start of the season. So some of the options that are out there, you've got Simmons, you've got Chuck Clark's name is being thrown around a little bit, even Von Bell, former Bengal. So it'll be interesting to see what the Ravens do at the safety position. They definitely need to bring in some other competition for that other starting role. But again, this is just a bad situation, and it's happening, unfortunately, to someone who has already had to deal with a lot of injuries throughout his career, and this is a contract year for him, so it's a big bummer for him. It's a bummer for the Ravens. Hopefully he is going through the process to get back. Hopefully his mentals is good, and hopefully he comes out of it and is able to get back onto the field, either for the Ravens or somebody else. Hopefully make some sort of comeback after this. But the Ravens are going to have to figure out what to do with the safety position next to Kyle Hamilton. So last thing we're going to talk about in this video is the Ravens NFL schedule release. So they already released the opponents that we're going to be facing, both home and away, several months ago at the end of the 2024 regular season. Obviously, we have their division games with the Bengals, Browns, and Steelers. But we are taking on, as far as other divisions, in the AFC, we're facing the AFC East, and in the NFC, we're facing the NFC North. And those are split up 2-2, home and away. So, again, the schedule is going to be released at about 8 p.m. later today. And I have another video that's going to be coming out probably tomorrow as we break down that schedule. And we look at sort of where the bye week is, how each of those stretches is going to look like. So we are going to be facing the Jets, the Patriots, the Texans, the Bears, the Lions, and the Rams at home. And then the away teams is going to be outside of the division: the Bills, the Dolphins, the Chiefs, the Packers, and the Vikings. So for the third year in a row, we are facing the Texans, and we are facing the Chiefs for what feels like the 10th time since Lamar has been under center. And we get the Bills for the second year in a row at least. So it's going to be a tough road to go here, because the NFC North, all but the Bears, had double-digit wins. And at least as far as the AFC East, obviously the Bills, we've got some vengeance or revenge game type of thing that we need to play out with them. And then same thing for the Chiefs. But it looks like, from a leak that we saw earlier today, that the Ravens will get their chance with the Bills, at least, sooner rather than later. So it was released that the Ravens will be facing the Bills on Sunday Night Football in Buffalo to start the season. So we are going to jump right back into the revenge game, just like we did with the Steelers, just like we did with the Chiefs in the previous season. Hopefully the outcome is different, and hopefully now with Derrick Henry being signed to an extension and being more comfortable in the offense, and Todd Monken knowing how to use him, we will see a more effective game plan by the offense to start the season against the Bills. So that's all I've got for you guys today on the updates. Like I said, tomorrow we'll be coming out with that video about the Ravens schedule. If you guys have enjoyed these updates, go ahead and give the video a like. Comment down below your thoughts on the Derrick Henry extension. on the Ardarius Washington situation and the safety situation. What do you think the Ravens should be doing as far as who they should be looking at? Are we fine how we are? And yeah, that video about the schedule is going to be coming out tomorrow. So give me your thoughts on taking on the Bills first thing to start the season in 2025. As always, guys, stay safe out there. Go Ravens.